BYU got dominated by Liberty, and I don't think there's any doubt that one of the biggest questions in sports this morning is, what do you do now? Mm-hmm. Where does BYU go from here? You know, you host East Carolina on Friday night on ESPN2 at LaVell Edwards Stadium. I don't know that there are any more must-win games for this team. I mean, obviously, this loss was terrible, embarrassing, humiliating. You got dominated by Liberty, and you were never in this game. You score the 14 points, and then all of a sudden the motor just turns off.
Facts.
And they run out and score 41. And it's absolutely a humiliating loss. Yeah. And, I want to play some of this Kalani sound from after the game because I think we're all looking at the wrong thing here. I think when you start looking at, who Kalani Sitake is, and you start looking at who we've all been talking about, Elisa Tuiaki is the defensive coordinator, and I don't know that he matters anymore because I think this is 100% about Kalani Sitake.
Look forward to seeing who wants to come out of this mess, but it's an easy filter for me. See who wants to join the fight and who wants to not be a part of it, and so we'll get through it.
I mean, who wants to work on this mess? Mm-hmm. You listen to his words, and he again, I've said for weeks, looks like a different Kalani Sitake to me. And he's wearing it, and they're losing games, and it's embarrassing now, and they're getting dominated. And so I don't know what the answer to this is, but I know it's not fire everybody and let's start over. Like, grow up. That's not the answer to this if you're a BYU fan. Here's Kalani talking about who bears responsibility for the loss.
And obviously, looking at our game, it's a team loss. We didn't do anything in the three phases to really gain the favor of the game. So special teams, defense, and offense definitely lost this game. But
it is a team loss.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that's hard for people to recognize is that I think fans want to fire people all the time. It doesn't work that way. Is there any BYU fan who would tell you that Kalani's not the right guy for this job anymore? Because if they do, they don't know BYU football. This is what football is. Football is hard. Football is difficult. It is not fire Kalani and let's start over. It is not the universal cheer of bring Bronco back and let's win football games. Because you hated Bronco when he was here, and now he's gone, and all of a sudden, Bronco's your favorite football coach ever. Knock it off. Because Bronco Mendenhall's not the answer. The answer is to stand tall and figure it out. Mm-hmm. Do you need to make a change on defense? Yeah, you do. Is Elisa Tuiaki a problem? He probably is because the defense has been terrible. But Kalani Sitake says he's the one that's calling the defense now. So they were still terrible. Is it Kalani's fault then? I guess it is. He's the head coach. But we've got to stop being the BYU fan that constantly calls for Kalani and this guy and that guy and the vendor and the ticket taker to be fired. Because it's unbecoming. Mm-hmm. At some point, you have to understand that your football team's going to swoon. And your football team's going to go up and going to go down. And right now, BYU is in a down, very difficult time. That doesn't mean that you fire everybody and start over. And until you get out of that mindset, you're not going to grow and recover from this. You're just not. And what I'm telling you is you need to stand by. You need to stand tall, and you need to proudly be a BYU fan. And I said this about the Jazz when you tore this team down, and everybody said, I won't go to the game. I won't buy those uniforms. Okay, well, then you're hurting your team. So when you're sitting here talking about, fire everybody, you're hurting your team. When you're not supporting the singular right guy to lead the BYU football program into the Big 12, and that guy's name is Kalani Sitake, when you're sitting here talking about bringing Bronco back, all you're doing is slapping Kalani Sitake in the face.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
Grow up. This is what football is. And I understand that BYU fans, you're in a lot of pain right now. You're frustrated. You're upset with the football team. Firing Kalani Sitake does not make this better. And I got news for you as well. It won't make you feel better either because there's not a better replacement for him. Do you want to go back to Gary Croton in the bib uniforms? Why? Kalani Sitake's the right guy. at the right time to lead this team forward. He needs to make changes on his defensive staff. There is no doubt about that. But, Jake, I don't think calling for Kalani's job is the right way to go about this.
No, and I think I completely agree. It's what we do in sports. I think it's a convenient tactic. It's like, hey, let's fire everybody because, getting a new face in here, getting some fresh blood in here is going to fix all the problems that ail this team. But the actual problem is that, guys aren't tackling. Guys are not. There were probably, I don't know how many plays, but a bunch of plays when I was looking at it where you've got contact 2 yards after the line of scrimmage. You've got defensive contact on the ball carrier 2 yards after the line of scrimmage, and you just missed them. And then another guy missed them, and another guy missed them. And it's like, okay, great. Like, we can talk about all these coaches, and I totally agree. There are some issues with the way Tuiaki goes about calling a defense. I 100% agree with that. But when Kalani starts calling plays and it gets worse, and you're putting guys in a position where you're playing man across the board and you're asking guys to make a tackle and they don't make a tackle, that's how you give up 38 unanswered points, just so we're all on the same page. So to me, it's very straightforward here. Like, there needs to be some accountability with the players. And frankly, and I know this is cliche and I really don't mean it to be this way, but they got to get back to fundamentals. How hard is it to wrap a guy up? How hard is it to take the proper angle? If they're tackling to the best of their ability, we're probably not having this conversation today.
Yeah, the issue that has plagued this defense is tackling. It has been poor. And here's Kalani Sitake talking about standing your ground.
Be up 14-3, and then to have 38 unanswered points was shocking for us. But just got to fight through this. This is definitely some adversity that we're going through, and you have two choices. You can fight through it, or you can. It's a fight or flight moment, and I only know one way, and that's to work hard and fight through this, and make sure that we have the right guys with us along the way. So,
yeah, totally agree. Let's get some of your comments in here. Brady Cook says, no, BYU has not been healthy. That's been one of your problems, but that's been a plague for years.
Totally.
It's not, and again, bless you, friends. Injuries are not a reason. They're not an excuse. They're part of football. Every team has injuries, every single one.
Are we clear on that?
Injuries are not the reason that they're giving up 38 unanswered points. Injuries are not the reason they're only scoring 14 points. Injuries are not the reason they can't kick field goals. Injuries are not the reason they're missing tackles. They're not good enough. That's why they're losing. It has nothing to do with injuries, man. You're not good enough. James Knight, good morning to you, friend. He says his hats are screaming for help. James, I wear a size 8 hat. I have a massive cranium.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. Yeah.
You are what you are.
I have a huge head. The answer is to clean house in the coaching room with the defense. Recruit better, leverage the Big 12, go to Florida, California, Texas, and get stars with the NIL and Silicone Slopes. You have to. You have to. Recruit better. I agree, I'm my Monty fan. Jacob DeLambo, I want Broncos toughness back, not the coach. I agree with that. James Knight says, that's your opinion, Monty. Others may differ. True. But when you stand around and you talk about firing everybody and blowtorching the entire football program, that's not being a fan. That's being an emotional wreck.
Yeah, and I just think that the question I always ask to people who say that is like, okay, great. So you blowtorch the whole program. What's next? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Like, you're going to – this isn't Liberty. You can't just go and hire anybody, right? Like, you understand that you have to be a card-carrying member. You understand that there are expectations at BYU from not just from a football perspective. So let's not sit here and say that – yeah, right? Like, let's not sit here and say –
Are you saying that football is fifth?
Yeah, I am, Bronco. Thank you. Like it's not – it's different, and I know we all know that, but I think sometimes we lose sight of that. This is a Kalani issue on some level because he's the head coach. No, it's not a Kalani issue, right? Like, we understand that difference, but I think I do think, and I have said this before, I do think Kalani's too nice about it. I do think that he does go about it a little too soft. Like, I would love to hear him say something like, yeah, Elisa Tuiaki has not been good enough. This defense is not nearly good enough. It's just not.
Yeah.
And we need to fix it.
Everybody's got injuries. We got to stop blaming injuries. Man, everybody's
Well, and I
injured.
think the injury thing is part of what makes the likes of Nick Saban and the Kirby Smarts and the
Coach
Ryan
Saban.
Days, like the big boy programs in college football, nationally speaking, it's what makes them special, because even if they do lose Will Anderson at Alabama, like, they're able to backstop that with at least someone who's good enough to get the job done.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting point. I do. I think you have to be, and that's part of the problem here, is that you're not deep enough. Mark S gives us a $10 tip. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. And by the way, if you're here right now and you give us tips, thank you. You built a studio for us, because that's where all of those tips go. And if you want to give us a tip, we appreciate that. In any way, shape, or form you'd like to do that, it all goes into infrastructure, every single bit of it. So we appreciate you, Mark S., who makes an interesting point. He says, Sitake, yes. Tuiaki, no. Best team of players ever, so it's the coaching. I do think you are very talented. And, it was funny. And I can't remember who it was. One of the Ute fans went through my Twitter timeline and found a tweet from September where I said that Max Tooley's a stud and this defense can play with anybody. And I think they can. I actually don't disagree with that. I just think they're poorly coached. I think Max Tooley's a safety, not a linebacker. I think he's out of position. When you're asking guys like Tyler Batty to drop into coverage, it's a mistake.
Facts.
So I think when you look at what's happening and everything that's going on this defense, I would agree with Mark. Tuiaki has to go.
Yeah.
You cannot give up 38 straight points and get humiliated. And then think you're going to turn around and look better on Friday night against East Carolina. And by the way, I point out you're only a 3-point home favorite, which really means you're even, because Vegas gives you 3 points for being the home team.
Yeah.
So it's a pick 'em with East Carolina, and that's not going to be good enough. That's not going to do the job. Jeremy Sevier says, I just want BYU to play like they care and actually have some nasty. I think you see that offensively. I think, and this is the hard part, and I know that a lot of BYU fans take issue with this particular point, but I think it's that cough syrup you don't want to take, right? The defense is starting to hurt the entire team now. And this is the reason specifically that you have to minimize Tuiaki and make a change in the offseason. Mm-hmm. Because you owe it to the other players on this team. And the sad part is, the upperclassmen on this team, guys like our very own Harris LaChance, this is it for them. They're going to the NFL or they're going on to their lives.
Facts.
So you've allowed Elisa Tuiaki in this defense now to drag the rest of this team. Because, again, you got beat in time of possession 2-1. So the offense isn't on the field nearly at the rate that they should be, because you can't get off the field on third down.
Yeah.
You can't tackle because you're poorly coached. And the offense is suffering because of it. And the defense now is dragging the football team down. So, again, I'm asking you, what are you waiting for? Why did it take us giving up 38 points at Liberty to finally take over the defense? And this is where we go right to Kalani Sitake. You have to hold him accountable because he didn't do what needed to be done with the defense. He didn't minimize and take Elisa Tuiaki out of the equation. Let him focus on the D-line. Why don't you be the defensive program manager here? You're the head coach, but now you're also the defensive coordinator. This is your job, Kalani. You haven't done it well enough.
Yeah.
You have to be accountable to that. And this isn't fire Kalani, because I am not the fire Kalani guy. That's just not where my mind is. My mind is that you owe this football team better than that. You owe the seniors and juniors who won't play a snap of Big 12 football better than this. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part to digest.
Facts.
Is you've wasted a year of how many of these guys have wasted eligibility, have wasted at the end of their college career.
That's right, T.
Because Elisa Tuiaki is dragging the offense down. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part to digest, is you're wasting valuable time that you'll never get back at BYU as a player.
Yeah.
That's where my mind goes, because having covered this game long enough, guys like Harris LaChance don't get eligibility back. They can't be like, we had a crappy year, I'm going to stay another year. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
That's the hard part,
Yeah.
NY Monty fan says, bring Manti Te'o to coach the linebackers. The world would love it. Well, maybe he should have gone to BYU in the first place. No, don't get me started. C says, and I say this as a big fan of your show, oftentimes disagree, but I like that. Make me think, and I know y'all aren't biased towards BYU or Utah. Great work. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate
We're
it,
not. We're not. And I think that's one of the things that is a luxury for us, is I didn't go to BYU or Utah. We're not from here. We try to really be right down the middle. We really do. Jeremy says, I just want BYU to play like they actually care. Thank you. I read that one already. Kendall Dean says, agree with Jake. Too nice. Football is a tough game. Being accountable is sometimes getting in somebody's face. It is. It absolutely is.
That's what I mean. It just feels like the program's cold right now. It doesn't feel like there's this burning desire program-wide to get this figured out fast. I'm not going to sit here and say that Kalani Sitake, doesn't want to figure it out. Obviously, he wants to figure it out. And I'm sure if you asked Tuiaki, hey, what's your level of desire to be here and figure it out and get through this? I'm sure he would say he wants to, but I know it's good. When Tom Brady's chewing out his offensive linemen, that's good for the team. Obviously there's a balance, and obviously, you can't be doing that every single day, or obviously, it loses its effect. But I think sometimes, and really most times, Kalani's just too nice. And I love the guy. I love his fit at BYU. I love the program. But you have to, as a head football coach, be very blunt sometimes and not give me Kalani will always say, well, we didn't play good enough and we didn't execute good enough, and I need to watch the tape and see where we fell short, and congrats to Liberty because they had a great performance, and but we certainly have things we can work on. That's his go-to line. That's his go-to messaging. Instead, I would love to just hear Kalani say, yeah, we sucked today. We were not good today. And it's getting old, and we need to figure out what exactly it's going to take for us to tackle somebody, or what it's going to take for us to be, successful. Because, again, obviously you're never going to hear him come out and say that just that way, but I think trending that way is better than not. I think you just have to be when is enough enough? I guess that's my question. How many weeks in a row, if you're Kalani, is it acceptable for you to just sit up there and give us the same messaging? Because it all sounds the same. I mean,
it does.
If we're being honest,
it very much does.
It all just sounds the same.
Yeah,
he just says the same thing every week.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think you're exactly right. BYU Talk on the Monty Show, presented by Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Fired up the smoker this weekend again. I'm telling you, smoking in chilly weather is amazing. I think, I could be wrong. Summer, I'm sure there's great summer smoking as well, but I'm telling you, chill in the air, fall smoking is amazing. It is, because the pungent odor of your pellets smoking through the burner thing.
The cold autumn wind going through your smoker
is amazing. It's Monday night. Got to get the, I think, who said it? Got to get the Jacko Pizza.
Yeah, you got to get it before it goes, man.
Let's see. There it is right there. Provo Cougar fan says it's Monday, home halftime tonight. Last night of Jacko Pizza.
Yes.
Monty 25.
Let's go.
Bang that promo code.
Let's go.
Actually, I think next Monday night is the 31st. What day do you trick or treat? Do you trick or treat on
Jesus.
Saturday?
I mean, you're not getting me to dress up. I can tell you that right now.
You're not a costume guy.
No, I'm not a costume guy. No.
Okay.
Yeah, Monday is the 31st. So technically,
next Monday's
Provo
also
Cougar fan. You have one more Monday, but I'm with you on what you're saying there. We're just about done here with the Jacko Pizza.
Yeah, I can't believe it's the end of
and my
October
God,
already.
is it phenomenal.
It is. I love the cold weather. I love smoking in the cold weather. And by the way, if you don't know Barbecue Pit Stop, get online at bbqpitstop.com. You can always chat with them on their website, ask them questions, get advice. You can order the great asado seasoning.
So good.
It is. So good, asado. Not asada, asado.
Yes.
Seasoning on the BBQ Pit Stop website. And listen, if you need a smoker, that's where you go. bbqpitstop.com or any of their 5 Utah stores, from Logan and St. George to Layton and Lehigh and Salt Lake City and Murray. Make sure that you absolutely tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Everything from equipment, Traeger, Yoder, Big Green Egg. You need a smoker. They've got everything covered. We're Traeger guys. Ironwood 885. Love it.
Wi-Fi technology.
Love it. Yeah, you can control your Traeger Ironwood. And really, like Timberline has it as well. Through your phone, there's an app. It will send you, like, you preheat your smoker. So I cook my pizza at 425. I order the pizza from Papa Murphy's, pop it on the grill. Once it gets to 425, Wi-Fi technology in a Traeger will send you a notification to your phone. And you name your grill. Like my grill is called the Monty Show Smoker. So it says the Monty Show Smoker is done preheating, current temperature 425.
Let's go.
Walk the pizza out there, boom, ready to go. Put it on the stone. It's amazing. It cooks perfectly every time. I can shut down my smoker from my phone. Yes! By the way, just about all of the barbecue pit stops have a full butcher shop in there, so you can get your meat, your seasoning, your rubs, your wing dust. You can get it all in one spot. Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com.
Let's go.
Right here on the Monty Show. If you're going to Lehigh, big shout out to my guy Clinton for putting up that smoke a turkey breast for Thanksgiving video. That was amazing. Talking BYU football as they drop it. 41 points given up by the defense in nothing short of an ugly performance out of BYU.
Yeah.
And I think the big question is now, what are your expectations for East Carolina on Friday night? I don't think you're assuming victory anymore.
No.
I really don't. And I think that's a huge question if you're a BYU fan.
Well, if I'm being honest about it, I don't even, like when I'm watching their games now, I'm not like, hey, are they going to win this game? That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, hey, did Max Tooley make that tackle? Did the offensive line put their guys where they need to put them? Because that's where I think this program's at. Like, and again, I'm kind of off of the negativity or positivity train on BYU, and I'm just being honest about it. Like, hey, you got to tackle, you got to execute, you got to run your.
You got to
plays.
get off the field on third
Yeah,
down.
like let's just bring this back to basics of football. Like, let's stop talking about is Puka coming back or is Gunner healthy or injuries or this or that. Let's start talking about, why can't you run the football? And conversely, why can't you stop the run? Like, running the football in this program has been an issue since week 1. That's nothing new, on either side. And defensively, obviously, it's a bigger issue than offensively. But is it any secret that with this team where it's at, wouldn't it be nice to have an offense that could road grade a team, that could hold the ball for 8, 9, 10 minutes because you can effectively run the football? That's what Liberty did to you. Liberty just held the football. Liberty said, okay, we're going to go 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 plays down the field, and we're going to eat up 8, 9 minutes, and then we'll give the ball back to you. So to me, I just think the conversation has shifted. We're not concerned about winning or losing. You're not playing for anything anymore, right? You're not playing for some major bowl game anymore. Obviously, you're playing for bowl eligibility, but you kind of see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Now we've graduated or shifted to, hey, how bad is this going to get? Are you going to be...
Is this rock bottom?
Yeah, are you going to be like an 8-3 team? Are you going to be 6-4? Are you like? I can't imagine this team being less than 6-4. But I mean, again, I don't know. How far is the fall?
I don't know either. I really don't. Boyd Lake says Lavelle always had assistant coaches that were ball busters. Who is the ball buster on Kalani's coaching staff? The last one was Grimes, and he's gone. Yeah, I think we miss Grimey. I don't think there is any doubt about that. Cam Harrison, good morning to you. I used the promo Monty25 on Saturday for pizza. Let's go. Love that. Thank you.
Let's go, Cam.
And watch that embarrassing loss. LOL, pizza was good.
Hey, what kind of
man.
pizza did you get? What'd you get?
Yeah, what'd you put on your pizza?
Did you get a Jacko? Did you get a regular? What'd you get?
Yeah, exactly right. M. Alvarez says, to be fair, if he took over just this week, there wasn't a lot of time to make changes. I would agree with that.
Okay, but one thing I would say on that, I totally agree with you. But does that excuse not tackling? Does that excuse
No.
not like
The
not,
game plan was the problem.
Yeah.
This is no longer and that the players bear some responsibility. There's no doubt about that. But this was a game plan problem. There's no doubt about that. The BYU defense has given up 1,687 yards in 3 games. It's awful. And I'm telling you, the biggest plague on this defense is they can't get off the field on third down.
Yeah.
You just cannot get off the field. And Jeremy Bolton, that's your point. He says, good morning. Loving the new studio. Thanks, JB. Appreciate you. BYU opponents last 3 games, 28 of 37 on third down conversions. It's unacceptable.
Jesus.
I'm gonna say this
28
again.
of 37 on third down. I mean, it's horrendous. It is horrendous. San Diego State says cold autumn wind. I've been on that, Jake. Boy, it is. I got to tell you, driving to the studio this morning, it was 32 degrees in South Jordan. Mm-hmm. And by the time we got here to West Valley City, it was 37. Mm-hmm. So
winter has arrived.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Good to see like all the ski resorts and snow and snow in the mountains. They all got over a foot. Like,
yes,
I'm super
it's go
stoked.
time.
I can't wait. My knee feels very close to 100%. Those of you who remember, I hurt my knee before we went to Hawaii, like the Tuesday before we left for Hawaii. I hurt my knee playing basketball, and I'm just getting over it right now. Just getting over it. Kay Nurin says, I love BYU, but we can't afford to play like this in the Big 12. You can't.
No.
You totally
And that's
can't.
what's terrifying about the whole situation is like you're heading into a conference that by large part is known for its size and physicality and willingness to play like physical smash mouth football. And this team, like, again, this team, it's hard, it's too harsh, and I don't agree with the term that they're soft. I don't think they're soft, but what I do think is that they're not prepared for next year right now. They're not on the right track yet.
Yep, I agree with that. Kendall says, agree, Boyd. I don't sense there's any intensity from Tuiaki. Well, I go back to what he said about third down. I think that was earlier last week.
Yeah, he keeps going up there.
Where he said, here's Tuiaki on third down issue.
The third downs was really, as we came away with it without even looking at the tape, knew right away that that was an issue of ours. In order to, coming off the field, there was tried several different things, thought about several different things as far as the schemes, maybe things that we could have done differently, but felt like if we would have executed, it would have given us a better shot.
Yeah, it would. Brent Burnett says BYU irrelevant right now. How crazy is that? Because guess what? No, I don't think you're right. I actually think they're incredibly relevant. I think they're one of the biggest stories in sports presented by our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. And by the way, those of you that send us pictures of you at Quick Quack Car Wash, you may win a free car wash. So send us photos of you at Quick Quack, and we'll hook you up with a free car wash. But I think when you look at the biggest stories in sports, there's no doubt it's BYU being a 500 team.
Yeah,
it's BYU not being bowl eligible. We have one more week in October, and BYU is not bowl eligible.
Yeah,
and let's not forget, you still got to go to Boise State.
Boise. Blue turf.
You've got East Carolina, Boise. Utah Tech should be a win. Should be a win. Should be a win. But are you really telling me you're playing just to win 6 games? If you win 6 games, if you only win 6 games, are you going to a bowl? I'm probably not taking a bowl invite.
Yeah.
If I'm Kalani, are you really accepting a bowl invite at 6 wins? That's awfully tough to do.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Look it up there. A couple comments up. I get 2 Jacko pizzas.
Get off the field is right, Brett Burnett says. Cam Harrison says, I got 2 Jacko pizzas.
Let's
My
go.
guy.
Attaboy.
Let's go. That Monty 25 saved you a whole bunch of money. Mike Maples, good morning, my friend. He said, did anybody notice Oklahoma and Texas are coming to Provo next year? Yeah,
but why is that?
You got to get better, man. This team has got to improve.
Yeah.
You have to. NY Monty fan says, cue the quote, you play to win the game. It's the Herm Edwards, man.
Yes.
M. Morris says, let's talk Jazz.
Hey, we can.
Kay Nurin says, great background, but getting an echo like it's in a cave. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. We're aware of the.
We're in our new studio. There's going to be
Day one.
some growing pains. We will get some sound dampening. Don't worry. We are in the Great Hall at the Maverick Center, is where our new studio is. So our ceiling is open and it is high. It's about a 12-foot ceiling, 13-foot ceiling. So we will get some sound dampening in. We spent the entire weekend building the studio for the most part.
Yeah.
Like wiring all the cameras, and it's a work in progress. So yes, we will get some sound dampening on the ceiling in here, no doubt about that. I think we all know we need it. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's see, Talking with Raphael podcast.
On the New Skin Radio Network.
Good morning, guys. Love the new studio. Am I to assume that if BYU wins, they still miss the bowl game? Well, you got to win 6 games to go to a bowl, and they haven't done that. Mr. East says the audio is perfect here. Kenai Johnson says, Monty, are you going to add your shoe collection up? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we will do that. No doubt we will do that. What is camera 4 pointed at right now?
The sign.
There's the ceiling right there.
Oh, that's the ceiling.
By the way,
Okay.
there you go.
Yeah. Let's
this
show you
wall
guys what
right
we're
here.
working with here. Yeah.
This wall right here where this sign is. There we
Hello.
are. Hi. Good to see you. This wall right here where this sign is. If you look at, there's the concourse, right? Like there's the Maverick Center.
Yeah.
So this wall right here that's got our SLC Sports Talk sign on it will have a bunch of shoes on it. We have a bunch of shelves that have come in. We need to hang the shelves and put the shoes on there and whatnot. There's just a lot of work to do. And then when somebody comes in to join us, that red chair right there, Mrs. Monty, that's her throne, although she will not be on the show today.
Right.
Although I guess we could send her a link.
We could.
But yeah, that's where the guest will be, and all the shoes will be on that wall right there. So yeah, there's a lot coming. There's a lot of things that are happening in the new studio. So yeah, no doubt. Fat Jesus says, are you going to bring your puking dog? No, I miss the puking dog.
That's some funny stuff, dude.
I do, but I worry about our red rug. Like if you look at camera 4, let me point down here.
Point down. Yeah.
If you look at camera 4 here,
Look at this rug.
look at this rug.
How
we
hot
got.
is that rug? I
That
think
rug
that's
is
as far as
fire.
you can go.
That's as far down as I can get it.
Yeah, that rug.
That
is fire,
rug
dude.
is fire, dude.
Yeah,
like
dude.
that thing is.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing. But if you look at all the work we did this weekend, like we strung all those cameras right there, all the mics, everything that you see in here. We did all that work this weekend. So yes, we need to get sound dampening. We will do that next weekend. I hope you can bear with us.
What is Cam Harrison saying there?
Let's see. The SLC Sports Talk hat would be amazing.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
we are working on merch.
We are working on it. We know it's a priority.
Yeah, and this big logo right here is our, listen, we're trying to build something different. We're trying to, it's challenging, and
It's all part of the plan.
we're working on our website. There's some construction going on. Like Salt Lake City Sports Talk, SLCST is our brand. And I think you guys know that we really take pride in being the truth in sports talk radio here in Salt Lake City. And that's why we're trying to build SLCST into a brand, because we really want to, change the sports talk game in this town. Mm-hmm. And it's something that is challenging to do because, everybody's comfortable in the, hey, this is what I've always done, so this is what we're always going to do. I think people get comfortable in that, and it's the worst kind of thing to do. Mm-hmm. To be doing the same thing you've always done because that's what you've always done is the worst thing you can do. So, Cam, I appreciate that. We are working on hats, absolutely. Hey, look, Prismac from Poland.
Prismac!
Monty better be saying something positive about Kelly. Say I'm sorry to this baller. He is our hero. Yellow looks beautiful. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Carlin Lefevre says the puking dog was inspiring. Yes. MY Monty fan says, love the Mrs. Monty throne. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I see everybody asking where Mrs. Monty is. She couldn't make it to the studio today. 3-0 is what tanking really looks like. The Macho Man.
Macho Man Savage.
It's fine. Let's see. John Davies says, can we only listen on YouTube? Are you guys on radio podcast? We are on podcast. Anywhere you get a podcast, just search The Monty Show. Monty, The Monty Show. We have a ton of listeners on Spotify, Stitcher Radio. How the heck are you? Good to see you guys. But iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, anywhere you guys get your podcasts, absolutely search The Monty Show. Josh Lovren says that rug is lava. It is.
It is. I love it.
And it was more expensive than lava, too. Trust me. There is a reason that R.C. Willie makes bank. Kay Nurin says, yes, send her a link. She is the best. Thanks for always telling the truth. You're welcome, Kay. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate that. Neville93 says, just need a Caruso jersey hung up.
Well,
You know, is what it is. Got hooked. Says, sup, guys. I'm here for JC and LM. Yeah, aren't we all? What's up with your Bulls, Monty? They're terrible. Yeah, did you see? Ooh. Yeah.
no, not good.
I have zero sports happiness in my life. Although Bryce Harper hitting that home run,
Yeah.
as much as I am a Padre fan,
Yeah.
I'm a huge Bryce Harper fan.
Is this the dagger?
Who's the best player in Major League Baseball right now?
He's up there.
He has to be
He's up there. I think Aaron Judge is up there, although this postseason performance has been dreadful.
I think Bryce is a better defensive player. Aaron Judge is known as a home run hitter. He is a phenomenal hitter. I mean, he almost won the Triple Crown this year. Like, if I'm going with one guy, I'm probably taking Bryce Harper over Aaron Judge, but it's close.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout's just now too injury prone. So I think
Ohtani?
Shohei's in there.
Has to be, right?
Ah, man, that's tough. I think Bryce and Shohei would be the two that I would pick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's some – Nolan Arenado has to be in the conversation. I mean, there's so many guys. So many guys. But that Philly team is loaded. Like, I am super stoked about that. I cannot wait. Let's see. What's up with your Bulls right now? I don't want to talk about it. Jeremy Bolton says, Grizzlies game was fun on Saturday. Was going to stop by and say hi to Mrs. Monty after the game, but she was already busy chatting up someone. Oh, JB, you're absolutely an alpha, dude. You should have said hello.
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
For sure. Got Hook says, oh, hi from Sweden.
So, dude.
Sweden. See you for snowboarding this winter.
Our people Myron.
Ken Williams says, James LOL. Okay. Arlington Bears says, I ran into Mrs. Monty at the Grizzly game Saturday night. Thanks again for the tickets to fight night. Yeah, Saturday was an incredible game.
Yeah.
Drop that mother.
The Grizzlies are their next home game is November 17th. If you're not there, you're crazy. I mean, this arena, by the way, I don't know how many of you guys have been to the Maverick Center recently. The rebuild that's going on inside the Maverick Center is phenomenal. Like the Jumbotron is now up. There's a huge 4 screens. It's a center-hung scoreboard that used to be at Vivint Arena. It's now at Maverick Center. All of the those little video boards that run along the upper deck, those are now all in. And the south end of Maverick Center is going to completely change. They're going to tear out all of the seating in the walls there, and they're going to put in video boards from one end to the other. It's going to be amazing. It is what they're doing at Maverick Center is crazy. My Monty fan says, can't wait to see where this show evolves. Us too. Jeremy says, if you put up a Caruso jersey, instantly the studio is overrated and garbage. Okay. I got 4 Jacko pizzas, and they said the promo doesn't work for specialty pizzas. The promo doesn't work for special. It does. I've ordered it personally.
Yeah.
You have to order online, so you can't walk in. The promo, that's why I always tell you, download the app, and you can absolutely use the promo code to check out on the app. If you walk in, the promo code is not valid. You have to order online. Let's see. Prismac from Poland says, studio looks beautiful because I didn't see Jordan in a ring chaser Durant. Lakers are 0-3. Prismac, my guy. I love it. Let's see. San Diego State says, I didn't see any tax in Mrs. Monty's red hair.
Red chair.
Red chair?
Yeah.
I didn't see. Oh, red chair. Excuse me. In Mrs. Monty's red chair, did they make the move? She didn't. She's been salty and especially fun these past 1 to 2 weeks. Best find those racks guys.
Okay.
Now, I can't read well, but Mrs. Monty will be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
She was,
Dealing with some things.
yeah, she's working on some stuff. So my man Landale is doing a good job for the Suns backing up DA. Yeah, how about Josh Giddey? Is Josh the Australian sensation Josh Giddey?
Yeah. Dude can play.
Yeah, he's a baller. Ken Williams says, haha, baseball is boring, but fun to play, but watching is Z's.
Yeah.
Tax, we all know she's got racks. Exactly right. K. Nurin says, BH is worth watching baseball. BH. Bryce Harper, yes. Okay, great. Thank you. And my Monty fan would love to see Bryce Harper win the World Series. His swag just spills over and gives great sound bites. That's a clown question, bro.
Yes.
It is. We need the clown question.
Yeah,
drop.
we do.
You got to get that. Carlin the Favor says Don torched Caruso the other night. He did.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell's going to average 30 points a game. I don't know how long I've been telling you that, but trust me when I say it's going to happen. Neville93 says, I never got the tickets that you were going to send me. I hope next time. What do you mean you never got the tickets? They come to your phone. Did you not get them? You should have told me that, Neville. I did not. I was unaware of that. We had a ton. We had a ton of tickets. Yeah, it was crazy. Neville, I owe you, man. Absolutely. November 17th. Consider it done. Tanner Plummer, are you guys going to hang up any jerseys? I don't know. And there's been questions about that.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that, I don't know. Yeah, yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. We need to build this wall over here.
Yeah, this wall over here, this wall that you're looking at.
So this is like a blank canvas that we have to work with over here?
This is the wall that's going to have stuff on it because the wall opposite of that, we don't have, there's no way, like we're going to have
space on.
There's going to be like a 60-inch TV on there and there's going to be a lot there, but around that SLC Sports Talk sign, and by the way, that sign is bright red.
Yeah.
Like you cannot miss it. You cannot miss it. So I don't know. Casey Vinlandson says, Maverick Center prepping for an NHL expansion team? No.
Man, that would be so awesome.
But building is too small. This building, it's interesting. This building's about, I think, capacity is just short of 11,000. It's 10,000 something. And it's just too big for an ECHL team.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, the Utah Grizzlies are in the ECHL. And that is like AA. One level of is AAA, the AHL. And the NHL is obviously the major leagues. Could Salt Lake City support an NHL team?
Yeah, I think you'd really have to blow it up and like really make sure that every person and their brother and sister knew that there was a team here. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing. Like, I think, one of the conversations that we've been having is, trying to, get more people to even know the Grizzlies exist. Like, I think that's what we're working on. And I think I've heard too many times it's like, oh, I didn't even know there was a hockey team here. It's like, yeah, dude, like there's a good hockey team, like a team that won their division and like did some things last year. Yeah. And like, I think so can this market support an NHL team? I guess if it was like one that came, if the Coyotes came here or whatever, I don't know. Like if you had a transfer, maybe, but I don't know, man. This is a very, very unique town for sports.